An Aledo woman dealing with a recent tragedy now finds herself in another tough situation. Aisha McClay's husband died in a car accident in February.
So she moved to the Quad Cities to be closer to family during this difficult time. But the moving process has been a nightmare. Fox 18's Tahira Rahman joins us in our studio with what this mom is trying to get back tonight. Tahira?
Jim, Tiffany, after her husband died on Valentine's Eve, Aisha McClay needed help raising her 6 children. So she decided to move to Rock Island to be closer to her grandmother. But that unit was not ready, and now she's out about $1,300.
I didn't want them to keep being reminded of coming home from school and not seeing their dad walk in the doors.
The night before Valentine's Day, Aisha McClay's life changed forever. Her husband, Terrence, killed in a car crash. The Aledo mom had to make a quick move for her 6 kids.
It was important for me to leave and start all over in a new environment so they can breathe and grieve.
She put a deposit down on April 4th for this rental home in Rock Island.
I kept getting the runarounds week after week that it was going to be ready, and I kept, texting and calling, just asking her, hey, when the unit's going to be ready.
McClay says she finally got a green light to start moving some items into the home on April 18th, but she noticed the unit still needed a lot of work.
And I tried to explain to him that, hey, my husband just passed away, the unit's not ready, I want to move on, and he just kept saying, ma'am, my unit is ready.
Pictures show an uninstalled shower, exposed electrical sockets, and power tools still lying around the house. That's when McClay decided to look for another place to call home.
You can get your items out, but the landlord is going to take your deposit. And it threw me back like, whoa, I never even moved in. I never signed a binding contract.
The deposit, $1,100.
I could use that money for camp for my kids. I could use it for groceries, to pay down on bills.
McClay says all she wants is a reimbursement so she can move on.
My husband worked too hard to take care of his family for someone to take advantage of me and my 6 kids. So I'm going to fight to the end, and that's how I feel.
Now, the landlord is Fred Waller. He refused to go on camera with us tonight, but here's what he told us. He says Aisha McClay dropped out of the deal the week he said she could pick up her keys. Waller says he had to reject other potential renters to keep the house available for her and says she should now be held accountable. Waller says the deposit is rightfully his now. McClay did file a lawsuit in small claims court. That's where this case might have to be settled at a soon date. In the studio, Tahira Rahman, Fox 18 News.
Tahira, thank you. And we looked into what you need to know in Illinois before you sign a lease or write a check.
Here are some key points to remember from the Illinois Attorney General. Landlords are required to return your security deposit within 45 days after you move in specific circumstances. That includes if you don't owe any back rent, if you haven't damaged the rental unit, and if you clean the unit before moving. The Attorney General's office also indicates you can sue the landlord to get your security deposit.